Hello everyone, welcome once again to Books Wale Bhaiya. I'm Abhishek and today's video is about books I would recommend reading to someone who is relatively new to reading. Either you have read very less books or you're just starting a reading journey. These books, all which I'm recommending, are fiction books. They are novels or books with short stories. There's no non-fiction book here. And please note, while these books I'm recommending to someone who is new to reading, but that does not mean that they cannot be enjoyed by someone who is already into reading. It's just that their language, their overall structure is relatively easy to understand. So if you're new to reading, you will find them quite easy to read. Let's start. The first book which I would like to recommend you is 5 Point Someone by Chetan Bhagat. Well, Chetan Bhagat in India is today a household name. He has authored many books now. He even has a YouTube channel. But he started his journey as an author with this book, 5 Point Someone. It's almost since 18 years since this book was published. And this book is basically about college life. It's inspired by his days in the Indian Institute of Technology, Delhi, where he did his BTech from. So this book is about, of course, college life, as I said, but this is about many other things. It's not just day-to-day college activities, but it's a very interesting book about friendship, about friends, about relations. It's a book about college in the sense about the stress laid on academics vis-a-vis original thinking, as this is a point he interestingly brings out, that are colleges meant only for learning by rote, or is there a wider purpose? So it's written in a very simple, easy to understand manner. It's like a roller coaster ride ever experiences it in his college. If you have already done college, I'm sure you'll be able to relate many things to this book. And yeah, it's all in all, it's a very highly enjoyable, readable book. And this is another one book which became an instant bestseller at that point of time. And I believe it inspired many other people to write. And as a consequence of which we are seeing emergence of a lot of Indian writers these days. So yes, if you have not read, please don't miss it. The next book I'm recommending is If Tomorrow Comes by Sidney Sheldon. This book was written several decades back, if I remember it correctly. It was around 1985. So this book is about a woman whose mother commits suicide at the very beginning, but she had been duped by some mafia. And she herself faces a lot of troubles in life. Her fiance leaves her and she was carrying the child of her fiance in her womb, but unfortunately the kid also dies in the womb itself, and this lady is now hell-bent on taking revenge against the people who led her to this stage. So she starts taking revenge against that mafia, and in the process she also becomes a criminal. And you know what? This novel was the inspiration behind the movie Ek Hasina Thi, starring Urmila Matondkar and Saif Ali Khan, which came out in 2004, if I remember it correctly. And if you read the book and watch the movie, you'll certainly notice some similarities in the plot. This is about 500 pages long, but the beauty of this book is that you will never ever feel bored during those 500 pages. Sidney Sheldon has been one of the most well-known thriller writers of our age, and I think this is one among his best books. The next book I'm recommending is Malgudi Days by R.K. Narayan. But many people actually know about Malgudi Days because of the TV serial. But the TV serial which aired on Doordarshan was based on the stories by R.K. Narayan in this book, as well as some other books written by him, such as Swami and Friends. So this book is a collection of about 19 stories, all based in the fictional town of Malgudi in South India. And these are the books, if you ever feel inspired by the decades of 80s and 90s, how simple life was then, as you might have seen in the old time TV shows and movies. This is a book which will take you back to that time with simple stories based on simple middle class characters, and you can definitely feel connected with the various plots, the various characters in this book. These are very absolutely simple stories. There's nothing like the crime or some utopia or dystopia we are talking about as we see in today's novels. These are lives of simple men and women who are there in the town of Malgudi. And I would recommend, this is one book out of all these which I strongly recommend, even if you already are into reading a lot of books. If not read this one, do read it. And yeah, again, this is an advantage for the newbies, because this contains a lot of short stories. So if you're not into reading long novels, you can in fact think of starting with this one. And this, as I repeat, this is among the best which I'm recommending in this session. The next book is How I Taught My Grandmother to Read and Other Stories by Sudha Murthy. Sudha Murthy is a well-known author. She writes mostly for kids, but yeah, she's not read only for kids. And interestingly, even the stories which are written for kids can be enjoyed and should be enjoyed by everyone. So there's very beautiful stories in this book. The first one being about, which is inspired by a real life incident, is that a girl who's studying in school, and her grandmother who is unable to read, and she teaches her how to read. So this is you can say in some way it's the opposite. It's a kid teaching her grandmother how to read. And there are several other beautiful stories in this book, which I guess must be read and enjoyed by everyone. So once again, a very, very strong recommendation. But yeah, my recommendation about Sudha Murthy books is not just restricted to this book. I would say go and read every book written by Sudha Murthy and you will not regret it. The other is Bhendi Bazaar by Vish Thamija. This is also a thriller novel set up in Mumbai. So Vish Thamija is a well-known author now. He writes mostly thrillers, and this is among his best works. I have read all of his books. So this is a novel set up in Mumbai, and the story starts when some women from the USSR come to India in search of a different life. They actually want to go to some other country through India, but as destiny would have it, they are caught in the spiral of some deceit, and they ended up being prostitutes. And from there the story picks up, and we come back to the present day Mumbai, where a spate of murders are taking place, and the serial murders going on, and the police is unable to nab the culprit. And he has also started a character called Rita Ferreira, who is the police ACP, and how she unravels the case. I believe if you are looking for good thrillers, this is a must read, among the best by an Indian author which I have read. And yeah, there is a very interesting twist in the end, which I'm sure you will not be able to guess till the time you finish the book. Another book which I strongly recommend. The last book I'm recommending is a collection of short stories. As you see, the title itself suggests the world's short stories, and this is a thick book that contains more than 100 stories. And I'm sure you would have read some of these stories at least in your school books as well. However, this collection is very vast, and it has stories from virtually every well-known classical author such as Rabindranath Tagore, Charles Dickens, H.G. Wells, and whatnot. They're very short and very interesting stories to read. Just one suggestion, because most of these are from foreign authors, so and absolutely someone who is absolutely new to reading may find reading a little bit difficult. So you can probably start reading the other books then and then move to this one. But this one gives you a glimpse about the world literature, as you can say, and most of these stories I found are very interesting. So if you're someone who is actually looking to enhance your interest in reading stories like these, who helps you broaden your horizon, which takes you to different places, as you call about reading, this is the best book you can get as someone who is starting out. Well, this is it from my end. I will come out with more such videos recommending books for newbies, for those who are starting their reading journey. However, please note that this is not an exhaustive list. There are plenty of books. This is just an indicative list. And I will soon back with more videos recommending even books in the non-fiction genre, or even within reading, I will come out with more genres to help you read more and more. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you think I did a good job, please give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more updates. Thank you.